Fellow attorneys, my name is Marco Brown. I am Brown Family Law in Salt Lake City, and I wanted to talk to you about your office, okay? So this is my new office. We just built this, we didn't build this building, but we bought it. So this is kind of the new office that we have. So I have some Venetian artwork back there. I have a TV that scrolls through essentially all of my photos that I love, photos of food, photos of places I've been, so on and so forth. And today, we just got these bad boys put up. Okay, so these are maps from the 16th and 17th centuries of different cities. So this is a map of Bologna, and this is a map of Sienna in Tuscany, and this is a map of Venice up here. Okay, so I think that it's really, really important each one of us uses our office to tell our own story. Usually this is not how lawyers use their offices though. You go into a lawyer's office, it's all the same thing. They have that same kind of chair and they have that same black or dark brown leather couch. It all looks very antiseptic. It all looks very, very normal stuff. They try to make it somewhat high-end, but they don't actually spend enough money to make it truly high-end looking, right? So every lawyer office just tends to be the same thing. And it's a real serious problem in the sense that you never get to tell who you are. It's a real super missed opportunity. You have people in your office, you want to be able to tell them your own kind of narrative, your own story, right? Or you have your colleagues in your office or mediators, because we do divorce. I've helped over 4,000 divorces, that's all we do. Mediators come in here and they're like, holy crap, man, what does this stuff mean, right? And then I get to tell them about that. I get to tell them about this. Okay, this piece over here is from Venice. It is from Murano, which is the glass city next to Venice. The glass foundries used to be on the main Venetian islands, and they blew up too much and set everything on fire. So the Venetians gave them a little island in another part of the lagoon and said, go blow that up, okay? So they have been there since, I think, the 11 or 1200s making glass. They're the premier glass makers in the entire world. And I love, this is Massimo Schiavone, a certain artist out there. He's like my preferred artist, so I commissioned that. And I love it. And this is why I have Venice up here too. I've been to Venice like 35 times probably. One of my favorite places in the world, only next to Bologna here. But I get to tell that story, right? And it's great. You get to tell it with new clients, you get to tell it with vendors, you get to tell the mediators, judges, whoever is in your office, right? And then Bologna is another story that I get to tell people, because Bologna was the first city I lived in Italy when I was 19. I went there, I lived in Italy for 2 years, and this was the first place I went. I remember vividly the day I got to Bologna, because I got put on a train in Padova, which is next to Venice. And the guy who put me on the train said, okay, you'll know you get to Bologna when you see the birds painted on the side of the walls. I said, I have no idea what you're talking about. And he said, just don't worry about it. You'll see the birds. It's fine. I was scared out of my mind, right? I'm 19. I don't know the language. I'm traveling alone. And all this guy gave me was, you'll see the birds. Get off when you see the birds. Okay? I had no idea what he was talking about. And then there are these stick figure birds, literally these stick figure birds that are just painted on the side of the wall right near the train station where the train station stops in Bologna. Okay, so I figured that out. But that's a story. It's a fun story to be able to tell, right? And then I get to talk about how I go back to Bologna and how that really kind of captured my heart. And I get to tell people these sorts of things and explain to them who I am and what I value and what I find really super cool. And that's so much better than just some like black leather couch that communicates absolutely nothing about you as a human being or me as a human being, right? And then we have Sienna over here, a town I dearly love because it's in the middle of southern Tuscany, where they eat wild boar and they have these rolling hills of sunflowers that just go on forever. I remember when my wife and I were there, we rented a smart car, one of those little tiny smart cars. I took it around. It was the first time I ever rented a car in Italy. Took it around for the day and just went like just crazy, crazy places, right? We see cheese, like it just says formaggio, and then we'd follow the sign to Formaggio, and then we'd buy it from like some random guy back there. And then I remember that evening, we literally just happened upon this little tiny town that was a Roman bath town or something like that, right? Crazy. I can't remember the name of it right now, but crazy cool little town in the middle of nowhere in the hills. And it's this little tiny resort town. It had great food, probably one of the best dinners I ever had up to that point in my life. But it was just this perfect day, perfect experience. And I'm gonna get to tell that story to people that come in here. And it's compelling, right? It says a lot about who I am as a human being and who I am as an individual. And it concretizes that and it makes me relatable to people in a way that antiseptic kind of garbage stuff that's in most attorneys' law offices don't, okay? So the point is for you that you need to tell these stories too. I've been telling my stories, but you really need to tell your stories. Like what can you put in your, oh, that's pizza. So that is my favorite pizza in the world. That comes from a pizzeria in Naples called Starita. It is, it's actually a calzone, so it's two pizzas, and it's stuffed with ricotta and salame, and then on top you have cheese and mushrooms and tomatoes and whatnot. It is utterly fantastic. I love that pizza so much. I'm drooling. I go back to Italy in November, and I'm going back to Starita just to eat that pizza. So again, it's another story, man. So lard up your office with as many things that talk about you as a human being as possible so you can tell your story to people. And I guarantee once you do that and once you become a real human being to the people around you, they're gonna love you, okay? Your potential clients are gonna love you so much more. They're gonna wanna give you money if they know who you are, okay? They know you as a person, know your vulnerabilities, these sorts of things. That builds trust with them, okay? And you sell people get sold on their emotions and their trust. And then you close them through logic, and closing is when you get them to give you money. But first, you gotta sell them through emotions, okay? And telling your story through your office is one of those ways. So it's a real missed opportunity if you're not doing this. Just lard up your office with all of this stuff that is just you. And you will have more clients, you will enjoy your office more, and everybody else will enjoy the stories. Okay, I appreciate you taking the time to watch this, and I'm gonna go, oh, we got a Michelangelo back there. Oh, all right. Okay, we'll see you next time.